After losing 200 plus pounds, Nellis Dominici wants to take the next step. Alpine Plastic Surgery specializes in abdominoplasty, where excess skin is removed for a healthier life. For more information, visit alpineplasticsurgery.com.
Hi, Michelle Barber here, aka Style Queenie, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about how we can keep our skin looking young and healthy, especially now we're in spring and summer is just around the corner. So I just returned from a vacation in Hawaii, and while I was there, there were definitely some times when I was going to be out in the sun and maybe it was a little overcast, and I thought, you know what, it's not that big of a deal. I don't need to apply any sun protection or anything like that, but I can tell you over recent years I've started to notice that there is sun damage. There are things that come from having your skin exposed to UV rays. Our skin is going to be around for a long time. Hopefully, we're going to need it, and we want to keep it looking as young and fresh as possible. So I'm not just talking about wrinkles. I'm not just talking about dark spots, but cancer can actually be a huge problem, especially if we don't protect ourselves correctly. So I can remember when I was younger, I actually would go to the beach, and I'm talking in my teenage and early 20 years, and I would go and I wouldn't use sunscreen, I would use baby oil. Well, I can't even imagine doing that right now because I caused so much damage to my skin. I had dark spots, I have lots of freckles on my shoulders, and I burned. I burned quite often, but I wanted to look as dark as possible. And I don't know if it was because I knew that we weren't going to get much sun in England and I wanted to get exposure as much as possible, but whatever the reason, it caused me a lot of damage. So we know that UV rays cause about 90% of the premature aging that our skin sees. And I don't know about you, but I would like to stay looking young and fresh as long as possible. So what I wanted to do is share my top 10 ways of keeping your skin looking fresh and young. Because if you love the lake or the beach as much as I do, you're going to really want to hear some of these. So the first one, no, there's no news here. It's wear sunscreen. But again, like I said, on a cloudy day, does that mean you don't wear sunscreen? Absolutely not. My boys actually, when we were in Hawaii, didn't. We were kayaking up a river, and it was really kind of a little bit rainy. And I'm telling you, when we got home that night, they both had huge, big red marks on the back of their neck from the sun, which I didn't even see the sun. So we have to make sure that we're applying it regardless of whether the sun is brightly shining on us or not. So if you're planning on being outside, sometimes it's always good to have a backup plan. And what I mean by backup plan is carry a hat, bring with you a cover-up, do something so that at times when you feel like you've had just a little bit too much exposure, you can relieve yourself and actually take yourself out of that situation. The next one is use a face mask 3 times a week. I do this. It's part of my regimen now. I notice the difference about my skin because whether you sweat a lot or whether you don't, you're going to want to remove a lot of the oils and the buildup of other things in your skin to keep it looking as natural as possible. So cleanse your face. So this is something that's important to also do morning and night, because when we do this, it again allows our face to go back to that more natural state, and it also more readily absorbs moisturizer. The next one, of course, moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. Now I can't say this enough, because even when you don't need it at night, that is a huge time that your skin and your body can repair any kind of damage. So if you have the right moisturizer, don't just apply it during the day, also apply it in the evening when you go to bed. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, I'm going to share with you my next 5 tips for keeping your skin looking amazing. We'll be right back.
Hi, ever wonder what it's like to face a 350-pound lineman who wants to smash you into the ground? I know what that feels like. Scott Mitchell here, and I want to tell you about my podcast, Helmets Off, where I talk about the pressures of being an NFL quarterback and some of the other pressures pro athletes face when the helmet is off. It's a podcast, and you can get it free on Google Play, Apple Podcasts, and at KSLSports.com.
Hi, welcome back. I'm going to share with you my next 5 reasons and ways that you can keep your skin looking amazing for spring and summer and actually slow down that aging process. So how does your skin feel when you exfoliate? Have you ever exfoliated? This is something that I like to do because what it does is if you do it regularly, it will actually reduce the size of your pores. And what does that really mean? Okay, first of all, your skin is not going to look as uneven, but it's also going to stop it from becoming clogged with impurities. Like sweat, it's also going to stop lotions and sunscreens soaking in and actually causing blemishes and even zits. So that's a great thing to do regularly. Don't neglect your lips. Sorry, I missed that last one. Exfoliate. Don't neglect your lips, because one of the first things that you will notice about somebody when they start to look old is that their lips are wrinkled. Taking care of your lips can actually be as simple as applying a lip balm that has SPF in it so that that sun does not damage and shrivel up your lips, because I do notice people that have lips that are wrinkled, and also it's also nice for kissing too. I love looking bronzed, but there's also another way you can look bronzed without being in the sun. There are self-tanners, and a lot of them are better now. You will want to make sure that you avoid your elbows and your knees, because that tends to soak up more of the self-tanner and can cause it to look a little bit more orange. But when you apply it and you actually sometimes mix it in with moisturizer, it actually gives you that glow without causing any damage, and also the aging does not affect you. So apply aloe. If you do happen to get burned, and even if you don't, aloe is such a natural, amazing product that I always make sure I have it on hand. My boys, when they get burned, they're going to want the aloe, and I always make sure I have it for them. But it's also good at the end of a day of being in the sun to kind of put some on and restore your body to what your skin to back to what you want it to be. What about skipping makeup? One of my favorite times of the year is actually the summer, because I don't have to wear anything on my face. Really, all I wear is a little bit of mascara, maybe even a really light eyeshadow. But I think being natural and just having that natural beauty come through, it just looks so much better when you are a little bit bronzed. And if you don't want to be out in the sun, that's fine too. Apply a little tiny bronzer just to give you that glow, or a highlighter to accentuate certain areas of your face. Being outside in the sun is amazing for me. I love it. In the spring and summer, I love riding my bike. I love hiking. I love being outdoors. And I would hate it if I couldn't be able to do those things. So I want to make sure that I'm keeping myself protected as much as possible. Don't let the fear of the sun and what it can damage and how it can damage you stop you from going outside and doing these things, because why not enjoy the nature and the beauty of where we are? I mean, there's so many amazing things that we can do outside that if we're trying to avoid the sun, obviously we're not going to be able to do. So really, it's all about embracing what we have here and learning to handle it and make it work for us. So if you follow these tips, or even if you just follow a few of them, you're going to find that your skin is going to look fresher. So what I wanted to do is let you know that it's okay to be out on adventure. This is me riding my mountain bike up in the mountains, and I just love this. It's freeing to me. So don't let life pass you by. Don't forget, you can follow Style Queenie at stylequeenie.com on Facebook, on Instagram, and don't forget to go in and watch the podcast on FM100 app. Until next time, cheerio.
I'm Susan Bond, and this is my good friend Dave Hansen. Join us for MacCasts. We guarantee you a feel-good story and great free resources.
We're new, we're fun, and we're putting community back into commerce.